Greetings, my fellow descendants. It's your boy Right Pro, and I'm back with yet another tutorial. Today I will be doing the last portion of the English paper 1, which is called language editing or language in context, or using language correctly, whatever you want to call it. Guys, please do me a favor and subscribe. That's the only way you can pay me back for these tutorials. Just subscribe and drop comments below. Just tell me what you think about the tutorial, if it was useful or not. Those comments actually motivate me to create more tutorials. Okay, guys, do follow us on Facebook. It's SciMasters name. SciMasters on Facebook. And yes, you can join our WhatsApp group. I'm always attaching the link either on the comment section or on the description. Guys, without wasting no time, let's get right into it. Guys, you guys are writing in a few days. Good luck to all the matriculants that will be writing their exams. I'm wishing you luck, guys. Remember, focus, practice makes perfect, and believe in yourself. Sleep does not pay, guys. Okay, but let's get to it. Today I'll be doing the language editing tutorial, as I said. Now, guys, this one is very easy. It's also similar to the comprehension. Can you see that everything that we are doing here is linked to the comprehension? So once you understand the comprehension, you've aced the whole paper. Okay, so it's similar to the comprehension. I'm gonna teach you guys how to kill this thing. Okay, very easy. We have steps of answering this thing. But you guys know how I teach. I'm gonna need you to have a pen and paper next to you because I have a very disgusting handwriting. Sharp. Now listen to me. We are going to start. I have to teach you a few things before we approach how we're going to answer this thing. Now you must listen very attentively. Pens up, straight on the paper, ink on the paper. Let's talk. You only have to know 6 things. 6 things, and you are getting a total for this thing. Let's go. Number 1, I need you to know C. C stands for Concord Error. So I'm going to write CE. Concord Error. My learners already know that I don't write in full. I write in, acronyms or abbreviations or whatever you want to call it. Right? This is how I write. So please write it in full so that you don't forget. This is the first thing that I'm going to teach you guys, okay? Guys, what is a Concord Error? Please be attentive because I will never write it in full sentences. I have a bad handwriting. A Concord Error is when the subject is in disagreement with the verb. So basically, if the subject is in plural form and the verb is in singular form. So let's say the kids are playing. Let's take that as an example. The kids are playing. Can you see that sentence is it's a great example because the subject and the verb agrees. Okay, let me try and use this one. The kid I don't know which example to use, guys. I'm so sorry. I don't know which example to use for you guys to actually understand the subject, but it's all about plural form. John likes to dance. Okay, John likes to dance, or boys like dancing, or something like that. So what will happen now is that, what is the subject there? The subject is the boys, right? But now the verb is what? Is the dance, right? So would it make sense if I said the boys dances? The boys dances. Does it make sense? No, it doesn't make sense, guys. Okay, but if I say the boys dance, it makes clear that the subject and the verb do agree with each other. But if I'm going to say the boys dances, there is no agreement there. Then that causes what we call the Concord Error. The Concord Error is caused by the disagreement of the subject and the verb. They must agree, guys. They must make sense. I cannot say the boys dances. No, the boys dance. Right, that's Concord Error. Now let's move on. Malapropism. I'm gonna call it MP. Shout out to those who come to Mpumalang. Yeah, I'm gonna call it MP. Okay, guys, MP. Now remember, I said you must be attentive. Malapropism, guys, it's using a similar sounding word. in a place of an original word. So basically what will happen is that you will say I love you too, but you can write it like this: I love you you I'm sorry for the bad handwriting. I love you too. Can you see that this is wrong, guys? Okay, it's right. But if you're going to say to me you love me and I say I love you too on text, on WhatsApp, this is wrong. Right? Because I'm supposed to say I love you too. You understand? So this is malapropism, guys. It's where actually you are using the wrong, you're replacing a similar sounding word in a place of an original word, guys. The original word is two, but when instead you put two for numbers. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's what we call malapropism. I don't know what they call these words. I don't know if it's homonyms or homophones. I forgot, but it's when you use something like that, you understand? So sometimes you can say, I don't know, man. There's a lot of words that you can actually replace with that, and yeah. So that's malapropism. And then we look at the punctuations, guys. Ne? Punctuation. Punctuation also contributes to the language in context because now a punctuation it's a technical question as I told you in comprehension. Ne? And now a punctuation, guys, they usually ask about it because they want to see if you know how to punctuate. Ne? And number two, you must also know what a certain punctuation mark is used for in each and every sentence or in each and every text as an English learner. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I'm going to talk about punctuation, but before I do that, there's one last thing that I have to talk about, which is redundancy. Ne? Redundancy, I'm going to write R. Ne? Redundancy, guys, is basically two or more words that mean the same thing. Ne? Two or more words that mean the same thing in a sentence, guys. Ne? Ne? You are the only one that I love. You are the only one that I love. That's redundancy. Because you means one already. Only means one already. So why am I saying you the only one I love? And a lot of people like doing this mistake. You understand? As an English learner, you know that you are not supposed to say you are the only one that I love. You're supposed to say you the one I love. You understand? Once you say only, you are doing redundancy. You are repeating the same word because you and only is almost the same thing, same word. Do you understand? It's like being in a taxi and then the taxi is 15 rands, ne? And you are passing on that 15 rands, ne? And then you say one. Why do you have to say one? Because you are paying the exact amount for one passenger. So that's redundancy, ne? Because you're already paying 50. We know the taxi is 15 rand and you're passing on 15 rand. How can it be two if you're giving them 15 rands? Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's redundancy for me. You understand what I'm saying? So you're just repeating the same words in the sentence and stuff. A lot of you guys like doing this thing without actually being woke about it. You don't know that you're doing it, but you do it a lot. So that's redundancy. So guys, now that you know these three things, these things are examinable and they will be there. I swear, they will be on your paper. Ne? So make sure that you know these things, ne? And you know how to rectify them. Ne? No problem. Now let's move. Now I'm coming to the cream of the crop of this tutorial. Ne? This is gonna be a very long tutorial because now I want you guys to ace it. Ne? Because short tutorials, they are good, but they're not beneficial because you guys are gonna end up losing marks because I didn't finish explaining the things that I wanted to explain accordingly. Understand? So let's move on. Now I want us to deal with punctuations. Ne? Punctuation marks, there's a lot of them. Ne? There is absolutely a lot of them. Ne? But I'm gonna touch on five. Ne? Five. We're gonna start with number one, the dash. I hope you have a pen and paper there, ne? And you listen to what I'm saying, because I'm not gonna write down the sentence, ne? Dash. A dash indicates a pause. That's the first reason. That's the use of a dash, right? Number two, a dash, it separates groups of words. I'm gonna repeat. A dash indicates a pause. Number two, it separates a group of words. And side note, A dash is always shorter than a hyphen. So you must never confuse a hyphen and a dash, because why? A dash is shorter. A hyphen is very, very long. It's tall. Thank you very much. Now let's move on to what a hyphen is. Now, a hyphen, guys, it's very, very easy. A hyphen is longer than the dash. That's how you spot it. It's longer than the dash, right? What is the use of a hyphen? Okay, a hyphen, it joins two or more words to create compound adjectives. It joins two or more words to create compound adjectives. And then you can also use a hyphen if there's not enough space for a word in a line. Have you ever seen when you are reading something and then a book, especially you guys who like reading books, then they put a dash at the end and then they continue in the next line? Yes. No, not a dash, a hyphen. My bad. A hyphen. So they use a hyphen to continue a sentence in a case where these words do not have space in that line. Do you understand what I'm saying? And then the last reason for a hyphen is to avoid the doubling of vowels. Guys, this one you know it very, very well. So if I don't know if I'm going to have the vowels that are going to be close to each other, I use a hyphen to separate them. If you understand what I'm saying. If I'm going to have two double I's or double O's in one word, I'm going to use a hyphen to separate it. That's what a hyphen is for. Now, once you understand the difference between a dash and a hyphen, you are gone. I'm telling you, you'll never feel that section ever again. Now, next, a full stop, guys. I don't even have to write this down, but let me do it. A full stop, it's an end of a thought and a beginning of a new one. So a full stop is used to end a sentence, to end an idea, to end a thought, right? Very simple. You know this one from primary. Now, next, a comma. A comma, there's a lot of uses for a comma, but the one that you guys know very, very well is to list. It's to list. And then number two, a comma separates independent clauses. It separates independent. When I say clauses, guys, I'm simply talking about ideas. So if you're going to write maybe a whole paragraph, and you want to talk about how you're feeling at this point and then how you're feeling at that point, you're going to want to separate them without using a full stop. And then you can use a comma, right? It's used to separate independent clauses. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's what we use a comma for. Then we have a question mark. A question mark, obviously, it's used for asking a question. Then we have quotation marks, right? Quotation marks are used for quoting. We know that very, very well, right? Inverted commas, what are they used for? Is it for speech, direct speech? You understand? So all those things, you must keep them in mind while you're going to answer these questions. Okay, guys, you must keep those in mind. So what I'd advise you to do is that do more research on punctuation marks. Try and know all these punctuation marks and their uses, right? I only gave you 6 or 7. You can do further investigation just to make sure that you are accurate when it comes to getting 10 out of 10. Now, the next thing that I'm going to teach you guys, last but not least, it's going to be what I call, I like this one. It's passive and active voice, but I'm only going to teach you passive because active voice is what you are used to. The boy kissed the girl. That's an active voice. But I want to teach you the passive voice now. What is a passive voice, guys? I hope you're writing. A passive voice is when the subject does the action. The girl was kissed. Simple. Listen, in active voice, I'm going to say the boy kissed the girl. But in a passive voice, I'm going to say the girl was kissed. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's when the subject does the action. Simply that. It's when the subject does the action. When the subject does the action. I hope it stays up in your mind. Right. Now, what else do I have to teach you? Pronouns, prepositions, tenses, and yes, these passive and active voices, guys. Okay, so I'm not going to teach you pronouns. You did those in primary. Prepositions, past tense, present tense, future tense. Come on, guys. Those things are very, very easy. You should know how to do those. Prepared speech. Indirect speech, reported speech. Those are things that you should know as a grade 12 learner. You understand? There's no way you can get to grade 12 without knowing those simple things. Even a grade 8 learner can do those for me. Right? Now that we are done with these, now the question is, how does this connect to the question, Mr. K Pro? Now let's see. We are going to go to our question paper now. Now, I have steps for answering this question. Ne? And you have to follow those steps. Ne? Now, take a pen and paper. Now, you're going to listen to me very, very attentively and carefully. Now, listen to me. The first step, you are going to read the question. It's like a comprehension. We approach comprehension the same way we are approaching this one. Ne? I want you to note something. Ne? This is a comprehension. Ne? But now the type of questions that you're going to be asked, they are not like the comprehension. Okay, guys. So how are you going to approach this? If you already watched my English tutorial, this is going to be easy for you, right? You're going to read the questions first. Ne? You're going to read the questions first. Ne? But when you read these questions, you are not reading for understanding. You are just scanning and skimming. Let me show you how to scan and skim. Now, look at me. I go down, I'm like, oh, I see hyphen, sepia color, I see dash nyana, I see and synonyms nyana, I see preposition, I see redundancy, I see pronouns, I see passive voice, I studied that yesterday, I see tenses, we did that yesterday, I see grammar, grade 6 stuff, then I go back. I've done the first step, right? That's your first step. Just scanning and skimming. Ne? Sharp. Now, what is your second step? That's the question now. Your second step now, guys, ne? You're going to read the questions again with understanding. Ne? So you're going to read the questions again. But now with what? With pure understanding. With pure understanding. Ne? So now we're going to go and read the questions. I'm not going to read the questions. So we're going to pretend like I read the questions already. Account for the use of the hyphen in the sepia color. Bear in mind, we haven't read the extract. Ne? We read. Now, you know what our brain does? Do you know why I prefer this method? Because our brain is going to capture everything and have an idea. When you are reading, it's going to bring up, oh, there's that redundancy that they're asking for. Oh, there's that hyphen that they're asking for. So it makes the examination even much more easier for you, and you are able to highlight. Now that you read the questions, your next step now is going to be reading the text. Ne? You're going to read the text. Ne? Twice, guys. Ne? Twice. I'm going to put times 2 here. You are going to read this text twice, guys. Ne? Twice. Ne? Now, what's going to happen? Why I'm saying you must read this text twice is because this text, when you're reading it, it's like the comprehension, man. Now the difference is, in a comprehension, listen to me attentively. In a comprehension, we are looking for the main ideas of the comprehension and what the comprehension is trying to tell us. But here, we are looking at the technicalities of this text. You understand? We are looking at the technical part. But in the comprehension, we are looking at both the technical part, the figurative part, and the main message. Ne? Here, we are looking at how the writer is writing this thing. We don't care about the message that is passing through. We are looking at the punctuation, the full stops, everything, the pronouns, the passive voices, how you wrote this thing, if it's written in a correct order. So I don't care if you understand what this thing is talking about. What I care is, do you understand the technicality of this text? So when you read this text, don't read to understand what it's trying to tell you, but please read to understand, to spot the problems that are within this thing. When we are reading here, we are not reading this thing the same way we are reading a comprehension. We are reading this thing with the mindset that we are looking at his mistakes. Ne? We are looking at his mistakes and how he wrote it. We don't care about how he is, how he's passing on his message or what he said in his messages. We are looking at how he wrote it, his mistakes, his punctuations and everything. I hope I made sense there. So when you're reading this thing, you'll be looking at the hyphens, the dashes and everything and seeing what is happening there, right? Sharp. Now we read, then you read it for the first time. You see, okay, I can see, man, here's that hyphen. Oh, here's the hyphen. You highlight the hyphen. Ne? Immediately you highlight the hyphen. I'm just going to show you something. We are highlighting the hyphen. Ne? So when you highlight this hyphen, for example, there, you highlight this hyphen, right? You highlight the hyphen with maybe your corky or your pencil. Then on the side, you're going to just pull a dot on the side and you're just going to start saying the usage of a hyphen. A hyphen is used to do what? Now, a hyphen is used to join 2 or more words. Sometimes it is used when there's not enough space for a word. And sometimes it's used to avoid the doubling of words. Now, the question is, What did they use this hyphen for? Remember, we're not even answering the questions yet, but we're trying to make this thing much more easier. Now we're going to read this sentence. We were good kids and bunked school only when we knew we couldn't get into trouble. Especially, guys, this is so simple. Can you see that the hyphen was used for the third reason? Ne? No, for the second reason, to avoid the doubling of vowels. Because if they mix trouble and especially, then we are going to have double vowels. We're going to have double E's. So they had to use a what? A hyphen. So you write that down on the side. Easy. Before you even answer the questions, right? Easy. Simple. Let's see what else can you spot. Just like that, guys. That's how we do it. That's how we do it, guys, okay? So you check. How is this comma? Was this comma used properly? Oh, I can see this text is not, it has redundancy somewhere. Oh, I can see this text was repeated a lot. That's how you approach these things before you even go to the questions, guys. The main thing that makes you guys die from this one is because you guys want to go to the question, why is the hyphen done this? Then you go back and then you check and then you start thinking about things that are not there. While you can just spot the problems first. Now when you read this thing, after reading it, when you analyze it, the first thing should come to your mind is, let me find the Concord error. You find the Concord error, you highlight it, you fix it, you find the hyphen, you find the dash, you find the full stop, and check if they are in correct order. And the comma, check what they were used for, and then you find the malapropism, you find redundancy, you find passive voice, active voice, and the tenses and everything. Once you can isolate this thing and analyze it, when you're answering this thing, you'll answer it within 2 minutes. I swear. Look, question 1. Account for the use of a hyphen. 3 marks. What did we say the hyphen is being used for? Previously, it has been used to avoid the doubling of vowels. Where? Let's go and see. If they didn't use a hyphen here, we're going to have double E. You understand what I'm saying? That's why they use the hyphen. There's 2 other uses of a hyphen, which is what? When we don't have enough space for a word, we do have enough space for a word here. So that's not the reason. To join 2 or more words from compound adjectives, that's nonsense. Thank you very much. Can you see how easy this thing is? Now they're going to say, account for the use of the dash in line 3, right? So when you're reading this thing, you can see a dash in line 3. So what are they saying? Just wait a vahapiki. In sepia line 1. Sepia line 1. Okay, guys. In sepia line 1, this is a dash. This is a dash. This is a dash. I don't understand what is happening. I think these questions were made vice versa. Okay, I'm not wrong. These questions were made vice versa because now the dash is the one that is in line 1 and the hyphen is the one in line 3. Can you see that the hyphen is always the longer one? The hyphen is always the longer one, but the dash is always the shorter one. Here is the dash in line 1. So pay attention. Pay attention here. If you are using this paper, this is November 2019 paper. They swapped around the questions. The dash was supposed to be on top and the hyphen was supposed to come here. But we're going to continue. All you must do is that you must highlight that this question is in line 1. So let's go and check what is the use of a dash in line 1. Why did I say is the use of a dash in line 1, guys? The use of a dash, guys, a dash is used to indicate a pause, right? Sometimes it is used to separate a group of words. Guys, this is so simple. Your answer is that it was used to separate a group of words. That's your answer. It was used to separate a group of words. That's 5.1.2. And you get a mark. However, people who were writing this paper had an error. And so I didn't even notice because I don't practice these papers. It had an error and most people didn't notice. So what they did is that they give learners 3 marks if they wrote what made sense. But if you leave it blank, then you don't get a mark. Okay, guys. So just bear in mind that the dash was supposed to be on top and the hyphen was supposed to be here on 5.1.2. But however, we answered the question. Okay, guys. So I'm not going to answer all the questions. You can see this preposition error. You know what is a preposition? On, up. Those are prepositions. Redundancy. I told you that redundancy is 2 or more words that mean the same thing. You go and look for the redundancy in paragraph 2. Let's see if you can find it. Paragraph 2. And a lot of people suffer from this one. So we trekked to a friend's house, hunched over, carrying school cases filled with heavy. Okay, guys, listen to me. If you want to understand redundancy, you must know a lot of synonyms. If you want to kill this question of redundancy, you must know synonyms. You must be able to spot when words mean the same thing. Right? Okay. So it's very hard to spot redundancy. I'm not gonna lie to you. So let's see. So we trekked to a friend's house, hunched over, carrying school cases filled with heavy lead-in textbooks, that wouldn't be opened that day. Can you see how difficult it is going to be for us to spot the redundancy? So to track, what is to track to a friend's house, and what is to hunch over? Hmm? And then what is lead-in textbooks? That's the question you should ask yourself. Yeah. Doesn't carrying school cases with heavy textbooks and saying lead-in textbooks, doesn't it mean the same thing? I might be mistaken. Can those IEP learners help me out? I might be mistaken. But according to me, the redundancy here, I would have highlighted lead-in textbooks, because it means the same thing, even if you can just say carrying school cases filled with heavy textbooks, not heavy lead-in textbooks, because lead-in still means that they are heavy. I might be mistaken. I stand to be corrected, right? Sharp. So that's how you spot redundancy, guys. You must know your level of synonyms must be very, very high. Synonym knowledge must be very, very high. Okay, it's kind of complicated, that one. And then let me see if we can find a punctuation question so that I can show you how pronoun error. Okay, that's very easy. Can you see passive voice there? Passive voice, you're gonna apply what I taught you. Correct the error of tense, past tense, present tense, future tense, guys. So this chapter is very, very easy if you listen to what I said before we approach this question. Okay, guys, the main thing you should do is highlight everything that you can spot from the get-go and know a lot of synonyms. Okay, know a lot of synonyms, because there's always a question that's going to say, what is the synonym of this? And you don't know anything about it. Understand? So that's how you get full marks on this. Yeah. And then the key recipe to get great marks in English paper 1, because this is the last tutorial that I'm doing for paper 1. To get good marks in English paper 1, guys, I'm going to advise you that you do at least past papers of the 4 previous years. So since we're in 2022, you're going to do 2019, 2018, okay, 2020, 2021, 2019, and 2018. Use those papers to your advantage and practice each and every day. Try and do at least one English question for paper 1, and I swear you're going to get a great mark. If you're on 60%, you'll get a 70%. If you're on 70%, you'll get an 80%. English is very challenging, and they are very strict when they're marking English at the marking center. So you must make sure that your answers are very, very, very impressive. That's why I'm teaching you guys the technicalities of these things, because the markers, they actually look at the technicalities of how you are answering these things. You understand? So if you don't know what a hyphen is used for, it's a problem. If you don't know what a full stop is used for, the marker is just gonna be like, you understand what I'm saying? So guys, that's the end of the tutorial. I hope it was informative. There is nothing more or nothing less that I can teach you related to this. You just have to know language in context, right? Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Good luck with the paper 1 that you're writing in a few days. I hope everyone will get a distinction. If not, a good mark that is going to allow you to enter varsity, because let's remember that we need 60% to enter varsity. You know, it's a required mark. So you have to get 60 and above to enter varsity. So I'm just going to say good luck to those learners who are going to be writing. Believe in yourself, drink lots of water, do not allow yourself to be distracted, and stuff, and focus on your work, right? The time is now. The time for you to make your parents is now. Make us proud. We believe in you. Matric 2022, we believe in you. This is my last tutorial for English. I will be doing maybe English paper 3 next, and yes, and I won't be doing English paper 2 because the poems vary and they change from time to time, right? However, I'll be recommending you to a YouTube channel that does that so that it can help you out, right? I'll be doing English paper 3, and then I'll also be doing mathematics and physics a lot of mathematics and physics in these coming days. Yes, I'll be fetching my drawing tablet and I'll be doing a few questions with that, and let's have fun, guys. You know, writing final examinations, you guys should not be pressurized. Let's have fun with what we learned during the course of the year. and apply what we learned, especially those maths learners and English learners. These are very great subjects, enjoyable subjects that you guys should get distinctions in. Okay, guys, thank you very much, guys, for your time. Don't forget to subscribe. Join the WhatsApp group if you want private tutoring, ne, at an affordable price, ne. But you can just join the WhatsApp group just to comment about our tutorials and everything like that. Thank you very much, guys. I hope this was informative. Drop comments for me. Tell your sisters, your brothers. It's K Pro. I'm out.